Ooh, this is hot. Child. Yeah. Ooh, it's hot. This is a drastic change from me being bald. I know it's a shock. It's like she didn't have no hair 5 minutes ago. So why she got all this hair? Well, today I am going to talk to you about I am releasing all of my hair. We all have these hair drawers, hair closet, hair basket. Somewhere we have all this hair because why? We want to look a different way. We see a style, so then we go and we buy the hair thinking, oh, I'm going to do that style. We have hair left over. We do not throw away hair unless it is synthetic and it's on its last leg. But today, I am going to show you the different hair that I have, and I'm getting rid of it. Yeah, it's time to part with the hair. So let's get into it. Let me take this off so I can talk to you. Because, child, this is hot. You see how big this is? It's covering up the whole screen. So, you know, it's hot on my head. What? I wanted to take you through the different hairstyles that I've had, and then we are going to be laying to rest the hairstyle. So let's pull this one back in the screen in the frame, right? So I took some of this out, but it is still cute, right? I can do it like that, right? But I had cut some of it out to make my own little um, ponytail, right? So when I was growing my hair back, and then it's just kind of like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I was making my own little whatever. So I was pulling from this wig. And then I had this epiphany, oh, why don't you just buy the little thing instead of pulling from this? So this is still wearable, but it's going, okay? It's hot. I am in my era where, yeah, it's hot and I'm not going to inconvenience myself if I don't have to. If I got to show up at a party with an afro, okay, we'll find an afro, but I can still rock my bald head. So this is just basically I was going through a transition of my hair and I wanted to have, different looks to take pictures with. So here you have it, right? So I don't think that I've ever actually worn this out anywhere. I've only taken pictures in this wig, but it is ideal for if you go into a party, a 70s party, right? It's is perfect, right? And like I said, you can make several wigs from this because I pulled from it and you can barely tell that I pulled from it to make another little poof, right? So this is going to retire. Now, I've got a lot of hair on the desk, so I may show you a picture at the end of it all. Okay, so we're going to just throw this over here. We got a lot to work with over here. Okay, now I was getting interlocks, and so with interlocks, the hair comes braided, right? So it already comes braided. The times have changed. So this particular hair, it comes already braided in the pack. And so let me see if I can take it apart so you can see just what it's like if I can give you a close up really quick. And so this is the strand of hair, right? And then it has like a little loop, a hole there. Let's see if I can show you that, right? So it has a little hole. And so you would take a crochet needle and put it through there, and then your hair would be cornrowed down, right? And if I can find a picture, I'll put it here. So your hair would be cornrowed down, and then you would basically stick the crochet needle through your braid, and then this would you would pull it through, and then you would tie it off, and then it would just be sticking there, right? So the cornrow would hold your braid, your pre-braided braid, right? So then you just have a whole bunch of these. So they come in a pack like this, right? So this would probably be one pack, and or maybe there's two. No, I think this is all that comes in it, right? I mean, and it can be long, right? So this is probably like 12 inches, but you can get 18 inches, you can get as much as you want, or you can make your own, right? So this is what I was doing. So I would have like maybe 4 or 5 of these packs, and I would have interlocks. So I would have someone cornrow down my hair, my friend Monique, and then I would go in and just attach these, right? And then you'd have like, I would have a mohawk, right? Because I love the mohawk. I just think that's so cute. So these haven't even been used. So I do have the original packaging. And so, somebody could use these. And what I would do is I would reuse my old ones. So you would put this in some water and you put vinegar, okay, apple cider vinegar in the water, and you just let it soak, right? And then that would clean them, and then you could do another round, and then you rinse them really good, and then you do, your regular regimen that you'd have for shampooing your hair. You shampoo it, let it sit, wash it, rinse it out, right? But you're trying to get all of the residue from the oils from your hair up, because the oils from your hair are going to get on this, right? When you're doing your hair has natural oils, so it is getting on this. So when you take down that hairstyle, you are washing this, you're washing your hair, and then you can wash your hair with these in there, right? So these are very, very durable. They stay, right? And so you can use them over and over again. I think I used mine for like a year because I just kept washing them and then putting them back, and they just look brand new. So that's one thing about this hair. It's very resilient, right? So that's another hairstyle that's going, or hair itself. Now, a lot of people saw me when I had this particular hairstyle. I'm going to show you here, and it was probably my most favorite, right? It was a weave, but people thought it was my own hair. And I was having my friend Michelle do the weave for me, right? And she just made me look so snazzy, right? And it just fit my face. So this hair, I still have the hair. And I don't even know if I want to get rid of this hair, but somebody could use it, right? Somebody could make a beautiful wig out of it for someone. So it was this curly hair, and she would go to LA and get the hair for me, and then it would just come in a package, and then she would cut it. She would cut it to style and fit my face, to frame my face. So you see how it's long over here, and then it's short in the middle, and then when you get on the other end, it's longer again, right? So this was on my head, and then she would get all the hair sewn in my head. So I would have cornrows, and then she would sew that to my head, and then she would cut it, right? And so this was my hair. So all I would do is when I would take it down, you wash the hair, then I would bring it back to her freshly washed. I wouldn't put anything on the hair because, when you have additional products on the hair, it weighs the hair down, right? So I wouldn't try to add anything additional, right? Even to my own hair. So, like, say my hair is braided, then you have this hair cannot handle a lot of oil. Then it starts to look all greasy and stuff. So I was very, very careful about how I maintain the hair, right? So, and it's a little bit more pricey. So you do want to, take care of it. So that's the hair that I had in my head that, everybody used to always say, oh, I just love your hair. And it was like, girl, this ain't mine. I bought it, right? So the next hair, let's see what else we got in our pile over here. Okay, so this is some of the hair. This is what I did. I pulled from that afro and I made clip ends, right? So if you'll see right here, This is a clip in, and you can buy this. I bought these on Amazon, right? Let's see if you can see that. And I sewed the hair. So I sewed the afro hair to this little thing, and then I would clip it to my hair, right? Inside, and then I would press it down, and then it would stay, right? So I could make my own hair look fuller, right? So this is some of the afro hair where I made extensions, right? So there's that. And then let's see what else we got in our pile, because our pile, it grows. And you don't get rid of the hair. We all have this hair in our closet. We have a hair closet, a hair basket, the things. And so we keep it because you never know. You probably have a friend right now that has a drawer of hair. If you say, I need to get my hair braided, and she's probably got 3 packs that's like left over from different times where she got her hair done. And so it's kind of like if she needs to grab from one of those packs because she just doesn't have it, or times are hard and it's just like, oh, I need to pay the person to get my hair done. Oh yeah, I have my hair drawer, I have my hair basket. So anyways, back to the hair. This is braid hair. So, say your hair is not thick, it's very thin, and you want to have it look fuller when you have braids in, when you're doing a weave. You want to have your hair be a foundation for whatever you're going to do to it. So, you use braid hair. So, this is just some standard braid hair that you buy at the store, right? And then you take this, and then you've seen people attach braid hair to people's hair, right? And sometimes they leave it loose, right? So it would be maybe like that. Like, see, that looks cool, right? I would probably look cool with a mohawk like that, right? It's already there. So, but yeah, we are retiring this as well. But this is something that I could tell one of my friends, hey girl, do you need some hair? And then I could just give them this, and they could use this with the other hair that they have, right? So the next one is the actual puff that I purchased, right? So I had 2 Afro puffs. I took a picture and I did a video, I think, also. I'm not sure. But anyways, let's look at this. Now I think I bought this from Shein, right? So there were 2 puffs because I love Afro puffs. I love those cute young hairstyles. When I see little girls with puffs, I'm just like, oh, how cute. So I got these 2 puffs, right? And so this one, you can tell I've been wearing this one more, right? But basically, they would go on top of my hair, right? I put my hair in, it's parted down the middle and make 2 puffs, right? And then you can use one of these for 1 puff on top of your head, right? So I would take one and I would put it on one side, and then I take the other one and put it on the other side, right? And oop, it would be like that, right? So yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, it's cute. It's cute. So those were the puffs. So 1 or 2, right? And these were very inexpensive. These were only like a few dollars each, right? So that's retiring. And I'll explain to you why I'm retiring in a minute from the hair, right? So let's see if we have anything else down here. I think that's it for the most part, right? Because this is just basically hair from within, I guess, the last 5 years. And you see how it's like I'm trying to get it off me because the remnants of it. So I was going through an issue with my head. My head was hurting, and so I had a soft patch in my head. And so it would hurt to touch it, right? It was so painful. My head was in pain. So when I shaved the hair down, you could see bald patches, right? And so when I shaved the hair down, it just, my daughter was like, yeah, it looks like something, mom, right? And so then eventually, and it was just basically my health, my body, it was just kind of like, I was not well. Let's just say that. So after I got better, then I started letting my hair grow back and I grew it back. Then I cut it again, right? Then I grew back a little bit and then I cut it again. And it was just like started to get more and more comfortable with being bald. Then there was a period where I went through that interlock period, and then I just kept doing my hair. And I saw that it was an expense to keep up this hairstyle. I liked it, right? The braids, the mohawk, and all of that, but it was an expense. And for me, it's kind of like I can save money. I do like the bald head. Now I've grown to like it. So when I initially cut my hair, I had talked to myself about, okay, if you have to cut your hair, people are going to have to adjust. There's going to be this, people are going to be in shock. There's going to be all these things. You need to brace yourself because they're not going to be able to handle it. And I did run into that. Now here we are at the stage of interlocks and it's getting expensive. And so it's just kind of like, okay, you see people with the bald head and you're like, I want the bald head. And because I had embraced it so much over the years that it's like, yeah, you could rock this bald head, right? And you just have to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And it was receding so much, it was noticeable. And it's just like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of, and then I had accumulated a lot of products, right? There was that. So it's kind of like now you are buying all these different products. It's like, girl, come on. Just just be okay with being a bald woman, right? And so when I first came back to being bald again, right? Just saying, okay, let it go. I have slowly come into not only being even more comfortable, but how can I rock this bald head, right? And the hair does grow back, but it is definitely receding here, right? So it's kind of like you go through that phase of shaving it and all of that. So, yeah, I'm at the stage right now where I'm comfortable with it. I don't know how I would go back to doing the hair because I am hot, you know. You're going through menopause. And so here we have it. So yeah. So I'm retiring all of the hair. It's just let me see if I can show you this heap of hair. Okay, look, this is the afro, and then there's all the other things. It's a lot, right? And some people have more than me because why? They like to change their hair, and that's fine. It's just that we're here now, and so I'm going to ask some people, do they want the hair, and I'll give it to them. And the hair that just doesn't look that great, okay, that's going in the trash, right? But someone can use this that's just brand new out of the package. They can definitely do that. So I hope you enjoyed this. And I know this is different from books. This is not your norm, but I know that I have shared about my hair journey on this channel. And so I just want to give you an update of, the type of hairs that I have or had and where I'm at with my hair and embracing it. Okay. So I love you and take care. Talk to you later.